About 300 kilometers southeast of Manila in the Philippines, one of the most active and dangerous volcanoes on the planet, has just forced the emergency evacuation of nearly 3,500 people. And look, when I started researching the data about Mount Mayon in the last few hours, man, the numbers genuinely worried me. We're talking about a volcano that isn't just restless, it's showing signs that scientists recognize from past events, and they're not good signs. On January 6th, 2026, at 1320 local time, the Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology, known as Phivolcs, raised Mayon's alert level to 3. This means high probability of a hazardous eruption. Let me explain what's happening there right now and why it matters. Mount Mayon is located in Albay province in the northeastern Philippines. And you know that classic volcano image we draw as children, that perfect cone? Well, that's exactly what Mayon looks like. Standing 2,462 meters tall, about 8,000 feet for those using American measurements, it's one of the country's most famous tourist attractions, precisely because of this nearly perfect shape. But don't be fooled by the beauty, okay? This is the most active volcano in the Philippines, with 54 recorded eruptions since 1616. And now for the second time in less than 2 years, it's showing its teeth again. So what exactly is happening at the top of that volcano at this very moment? Well, I'll be direct with you. There's a lava dome growing at Mayon's summit, and this dome is collapsing. Think with me for a second. When very thick, almost pasty lava comes out of the volcano, it doesn't flow like water, it accumulates at the top, forming like a cap. But this cap is extremely unstable. And when pieces of it collapse, look what happens. Scientists recorded 100. That's right, 100 pyroclastic density currents in the last 24 hours. These currents, known locally as uson, are basically supersonic avalanches of extremely hot gas, ash, and rock fragments that descend the slopes at speeds that can reach... Wait, let me check here. More than 100 kilometers per hour. It's impossible to escape them if you're in their path. And the numbers that Phivolcs released are impressive. Since January 1st, 2026, 346 rockfall events and 4 volcanic earthquakes have been recorded. Now compare this with previous data. From November to December 2025 combined, there were 599 rockfalls. Do you see the pattern? In less than a week, Mayon produced more than half the activity of the previous 2 months. This is a brutal increase in activity. The Phivolcs director, Dr. Teresito Bacolcol, who has been studying volcanoes for decades, explained in a press conference that these rockfall events lasted between 1 and 5 minutes each, transporting lava debris up to 1 kilometer down the slope, specifically on the upper southern part of the volcano. The rockfalls are incandescent. You know what that means? It means the rocks that are falling are still so hot they glow at night. You can see the red-orange glow from kilometers away. This indicates we're not talking about cold rocks falling by normal gravity. We're talking about material that just came out of the volcano's interior, still at temperatures that can exceed 1,000 degrees Celsius. And look, before I forget to mention, on Tuesday, January 7th, Phivolcs cameras captured images of the crater glow between 1836 and 1900 hours. The images clearly show the incandescent lava dome at the summit with freshly deposited material still glowing. The situation escalated dramatically on Tuesday afternoon, January 6th, at 12:26. That's when pyroclastic density currents began to be generated by the collapse of newly expelled lava, descending specifically through the channel known as Bonga Gully, which is on the volcano's southeast side. This event lasted approximately 3 minutes, and the debris reached up to 2 kilometers from the summit crater. And here's the part that impressed me most when I saw the data. In the last 24 hours, between 0 hour on the 8th and 0 hour on the 9th of January, Phivolcs recorded 72 rockfall events, 100 pyroclastic density currents, and 2 volcanic earthquakes. 100 PDCs in a single day, folks. That's a lot. Dr. Maria Antonia Bornes, chief of Phivolcs' Volcano Monitoring and Eruption Prediction Division, was very clear during the press conference on Tuesday. She said the most likely scenario now is similar to what happened in 2023, when Mayon remained at alert level 3 for 6 months. But there's a critical difference this time: ground deformation. Continuous GPS data, electronic tilt meters, and electronic distance measurements show that the volcano's edifice, like its entire structure, continues to be inflated since June 2024, especially in the eastern and southeastern sectors. This means there's magma pressure pushing from below. As Dr. Bornes herself explained, if the slow extrusion of the lava dome and short lava flows continue, Alert Level 3 may be maintained for several months, just as happened in 2023. Sulfur dioxide emissions, which are an important indicator of magmatic activity, were measured at 195 tons per day on January 8th. Although these numbers are still at basal levels, not excessively high, they confirm the volcano's continuous degassing. The observed volcanic plume rose up to 1,000 meters, about 3,000 feet, drifting west-southwest. And here's a concerning detail. Ash has started to fall. On the afternoon of January 8th, at 1756, Phivolcs confirmed traces of ash in Barangay Busay and Daraga, and light ash deposits were reported in Barangay San Francisco and Barangay Travesia in Guinabatan. Other affected areas are still being verified. Now let's talk about what really matters here, the people. Because at the end of the day, scientific data is fundamental, but what really counts are the human lives at stake. Albay Province Governor Noel Rosal announced on January 7th that a total of 2,889 people, representing 729 families, have already been evacuated from their homes. These evacuations began at 1600 hours on January 6th and involved residents from 3 villages located within the 6-kilometer radius permanent danger zone around the volcano's crater. And look, there are more 300... No, wait, let me check this properly. There are 600 people from 39 families who left voluntarily, even though they live outside the danger zone and went to emergency shelters or stayed with friends and relatives. In total, as of 600 hours on January 7th, 3,476 people, 952 families, had been displaced according to a report from the Disaster Response Operations Monitoring and Information Center, DROMIC. Evacuations were concentrated mainly in 6 areas: Tabaco City, where 1,181 people left their homes, Malilipot, with 1,193 people, and then Kamalig, Ligao, Guinabatan, and Daraga. Military troops, police, and disaster mitigation teams worked together to help these families move to 13 government-administered evacuation shelters. And you might be wondering, but why do these people live so close to such a hazardous volcano? It's a fair question, you know. The reality is complicated. Thousands of Filipinos live in dangerous places out of pure economic necessity. They've built their lives, their farms, their businesses on Mayon's fertile slopes over generations. Governor Rosal assured that relief supplies and basic needs for evacuees can be sustained even if evacuations last months. He explained there's a well-established coordination between local government units, the province, and the national government through the Department of Social Welfare and Development, DSWD, the Department of Public Works and Highways, and other national agencies. Regarding concerns about water and sanitation in evacuation centers, Rosal said contingency measures are ready, including deployment of the Bureau of Fire Protection and installation of large water containers and sanitary facilities. Classes at all levels have been suspended in schools in the affected areas. Entry into the 6-kilometer permanent danger zone is strictly prohibited. There are warnings against unsupervised entry into the extended danger zone as well. Monitoring is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Phivolcs maintains constant vigilance through its live video transmission at the agency's headquarters, in addition to seismic instruments, GPS, tilt meters, thermal cameras, and gas measurements. Coordination between the provincial government, local government units, and national agencies is active. Evacuation drills had already been conducted previously, so communities know what to do. And perhaps most importantly, there's clear and consistent communication with the public through regular Phivolcs bulletins. After studying all this data in the last few hours, here's what I can tell you responsibly. The situation at Mount Mayon is serious and deserves attention, but it's not a reason for panic.